Tonight we step into the shadows of Indiana, a place where the forests whisper, the waters hide something ancient, and the legends refuse to die. From towering creatures in the wilderness to things lurking just beyond the tree line, the Hoosier State holds secrets that few dare to speak about. These aren't just stories, they're sightings. Welcome to 50 States of Fear, Indiana, where the unknown isn't just out there, it's already here.
Down these roads where shadows grow, something moves that no one knows. Empty fields and silent trees, you can feel it in the breeze. Indiana nights where fear is near, whispers echo, no one hears. 50 states of fear, it's drawing near. Step inside, but don't stay here. Indiana calls from the dark unknown. Welcome to the Cryptid Podcast.
Hey, everybody, welcome back for your weekly installment of 50 States of Fear. I'm your host, Dano. I'm here to help you guys have a great Saturday night if you haven't already had one so far. You guys, what's going on? How was your week? How are you doing? And welcome. What's up, everybody? What'd you guys think of that intro? Let me know. Trying something new here, you guys. What's up there, Aloha? I mean, Untitled, man. All right. You're good. Hey, John, you're good, brother. I'm going to try to keep doing, actually, I'm not going to try. I'm going to keep doing that. I'm going to try to come up with a different song, different things. I wish I had a way I knew to know to make like a video that I could have that goes along with that. So, but I'm going to keep trying, you guys. There's always room for improvement. I appreciate everybody coming in tonight. Needs to do more meadow. More metal. Just depends on the state. You know. So are you guys ready? Hopefully I can bring it to you guys tonight. So let's sit back. Let's get you guys' snacks and your drinks ready. And here we go. We're going to go ahead and dive right on into 50 States of Fear for the great state of Indiana. Now, you guys, Indiana is, like I said, known for a lot of different things. But think about it as an area that has more than meets the eye to it. So in Indiana, they have a multitude of different kinds of cryptids. And what I found was relatively shocking to me. This is the first one that I have heard of. I'm not saying that they're not out there, but let's read about the Beast of Busco, Folk Island's shell-shocking snapper. So the legend dates back to 1949 when a pair of fishermen on Folk Lake reporting seeing a gargantuan snapping turtle. And when I say gargantuan, I mean it made your average snapper looked like a hatchling. Now, the eyewitnesses described this beast as being as big as a dining room table with a shell like the hood of a car. And some people even claim that have seen this creature. They claim that its head was the size of a child. Now, word of this sighting spread like wildfire, and soon, uh, is it Churubisco was gripped by turtle fever. The beast was dubbed Oscar after the lake's previous owner, Oscar Falk. And the hunt was on. Now, crowds of curious seekers descended on this small town, hoping to catch a glimpse of this now infamous reptile. The media frenzy reached a fever pitch when Falk Lake's new owner, Gail Harris, made it his personal mission to capture Oscar. Now, he tried everything from draining the lake to setting bait traps to even hiring a deep sea diver, all to no avail. Oscar seemed that he was as elusive as he was enormous. Now, as the weeks stretched into months, theories about Oscar's origins started to ran rampant. Was he a hoax dreamed up by some locals to drum up tourism? An undiscovered species of a mega turtle? Or perhaps something more supernatural, a beast conjured from the depths of Falk's Lake's murky waters? To this day, the truth remains as muddy as Oscar's supposed lair. The beast of Bursko was never captured, and sightings faded into memory, but his legend still lives on. And that small little town still proudly proclaims itself Turtle Town, USA. And every summer, the community gathers for Turtle Days, a festival celebrating their most famous resident. Now, for cryptozoology enthusiasts, this case of the beast of Busco is a classic. It's it's tantalizing glimpse of something that shouldn't be, fueled by eyewitness accounts and media hype, but ultimately it's been left unresolved. It's a reminder that sometimes the mystery is more compelling than the actual solution. And it's a testament to the enduring power of a good monster story to put a small town on the map and keep it there, even decades after the beast itself has vanished into our depths. Now, you guys, I have seen probably thousands of snapping turtles in my lifetime. I mean, as a kid living in West Virginia at times, that was a fun thing to do, was to catch snapping turtles, just wade through the creek and find and find snapping turtles, bring them home so you could have turtle stew. But I think the biggest snapping turtle that I'd ever seen wasn't quite this big. It probably weighed mm, maybe 95 to 100 pounds. And it was when I was in New Jersey. Me and a couple buddies were walking over to um, McGuire Air Force Base, which was literally almost right across down the road and across the street. As we crossed over this culvert, over this bridge, I looked down and I saw this massive snapping turtle. And I said, "That's our mascot." And I went down there and I caught that snapping turtle and we carried it all the way back to our area where our barracks were. And we dug a hole and filled it full of water and put it in there. And then we got in trouble. But that's another story for another time, you guys. Let's head on to the mill race monster, Columbus's clawed creeper. Now we're going to fast forward a quarter century from the Beast of Busco, Beast of Busco's heyday, And we find ourselves in a city of Columbus, Indiana. Now it's November 1974, and the locals are on edge. Something sinister is stalking in the shadows of Mill Race Park. The first sighting came from a group of young women who claimed to have encountered a large green furred creature in the park. But it was the second report that really sent shivers down the community's spine. A girl named Tara and her friend were driving through the park late one night when the beast leapt onto the hood of their car, leaving deep scratch marks in the paint. Now, Tara describes the monster as having a slimy, pale green face, matted fur, and long, razor sharp claws. Panic gripped the city. Mill Race Park was closed as an armed posse combed the woods for the creature. Rumors flew about the monster's origins. Was it an escaped lab experiment? Was it an undiscovered species of primate? Or was it something more sinister? Despite the best efforts of the self appointed monster hunters, the Mill Race monster was never found. The sightings tapered off, and life in Columbus returned to normal. But for those who encountered the beast firsthand, the memories still linger. Now, Tara never backed down from her story. In a 2015 interview, 4 decades after that fateful night, she remained adamant. We thought that we were going to die. It was the most horrible thing you ever looked at. That's what she said in the interview. The case of the Mill Race monster remains one of Indiana's most chilling cryptid encounters. The consistency of the eyewitness descriptions, the physical evidence left on Tara's car, and the sheer terror the sightings instilled in the community all suggested something truly bizarre stalked the park that November. Now, was this a hoax, a case of misidentification fueled by fear, or did Columbus residents truly come face to face with an unknown creature? The Mill Race monster's enduring legacy has even inspired an episode of the History Channel series Monster Quest. In a testament of the power of these questions to capture our imagination, and it's a reminder that sometimes the most chilling monsters are the ones that hit closest to home. All right. We're going to jump into one more real quick. The Pugwiggies, I think I'm saying that right. Mounds State Park, the impish inhabitants. Now, not all of Indiana cryptids are quite so fearsome. For a glimpse of the state's most mischievous, mysterious creatures, we turn to the legend of the Puckwidgies. The Puckwidgies have their roots in folklore of various Native American tribes, particularly the Wampanoag, Mohican, and Ojibwe. They're said to be small, troll like little beings, standing just about 2 to 3 feet tall. Descriptions paint them as having pale, grayish skin, large ears and noses, and a shock of wild, light colored hair. Some even claim they spot a ridge of porcupine like quills down their backs. Now, with these legends, they crop up across the eastern United States. One of the most famous haunts is in the state of Indiana, the Mound State Park, which is located near Anderson, Indiana. The park is home to several ancient earthwork built earthworks built by the prehistoric Adena culture. And it's around these mounds that these little creatures tend to have sightings um, in and around them. One of the most notable researchers of these Puckwidgies was a man named Paul Startzman, an amateur archaeologist who claimed to have several run ins with the creatures in the 1920s. Startzman described them as being mischievous and prone to playing tricks, but generally not malevolent. He even interviewed several other park visitors who have claimed to have seen these creatures, including a woman named Eloise, who encountered them as a child in the early 1900s. So, what are we to make of the Puckwidgies? Are they simply a fragment of folklore, a way of Native American storytellers to explain the strange sounds or shadows in the forest? Or could there be a kernel of truth to these tales? Some researchers suggest that they could represent a species of undiscovered primate, perhaps a North American relative to the Indonesian Tajir or African Galago. Others believe they could be connected to fairies or other supernatural beings of European folklore, which meddled with, melded with Native American traditions as settlers moved westward. Now, whatever their origins are, they have become an indelible part of Indiana's cryptid folklore. Mound State Park even leans into the legend, hosting occasional Puckwidgie hunts where visitors can learn about the creature and explore the park's ancient earthworks. But for some people, they represent a more whimsical side of cryptozoology. They're a reminder that not all unknown creatures are necessarily fearsome or monstrous. Some some may be impish, playful, even helpful at times. And they also spark to the rich tapestry of folklore that underlies so many of the cryptid legends that we hear on a daily basis, hinting at an ancient story and a belief that still resonate in our modern world. So what do you guys think so far? Hello everybody. Everybody jumping in. Hello, hello. Interesting. Okay, crazy stuff. All right, all right. Yeah, Thor, I agree. I think Pugwiggies or Pudgewiggies or Puckwidgies, however you say it, I think they're very fascinating. I think when people have sightings of these little people, or the Fae, or whatever you want to call them, fairies or whatever, um, I'm fascinated by them. I would love to hear actual encounters where people have had some kind of interaction or sighting of them. Now I'll tell you, if I were to go to this Mounds State Park and join one of these little hunts for them to try to go around and um, check things out, that type of stuff, then I would most definitely keep my eyes open because I think what people are, they'll say, "Hey, look around. You might see one. You might not see one." I think if someone who has some type of knowledge of these, then we would definitely, um, I think we would be more and apt to kind of look at things different and maybe see something that somebody would walk over and say, "Hey, wait a minute, this might be a clue. They could be around somewhere." So, but yeah, I would look for them. Absolutely, I would. So, You guys, let's do this real quick. Let's take a break in the stories and let's talk about some small businesses, you guys, that I enjoy supporting, trying to help them out as much as I can. I'm getting good feedback uh, from Ally Coffee Roasters in Cadillac, Michigan, and the Rustic Supply Company. I'm getting actually really good feedback. So, you guys, let's kick it off with Ally Coffee Roasters out of Cadillac, Michigan. If you guys like a great cup of coffee, ethically sourced, doesn't taste bitter, it goes down smooth, then check out Ally Coffee at allycoffee.com. That's OWLEYE coffee.com. And if you guys decide to order, which I hope you guys do, at checkout, use the promo code DANO. That's DANO, all capital letters, and you guys get 15% off of your order. That's allycoffee.com, OWLEYE coffee.com. At checkout, use the promo code DANO, capital DANO, again, all capital letters, and you guys will get 15% off of your purchase. The Rustic Supply Company, the Rustic Supply Co. Check them out at www.rusticsupplycompany.com or check them out on Etsy. And all you got to do is to search and look. When you type in for the search bar, you want to do a search for the Rustic Supply Co. And what they do is they do a lot of metal work. They make custom, like wall art. They do lamps. They do signage, and they have different types of motifs. They have outdoors. They have Western. They have like sports, like skiing, things like that. They even have some tropical palm trees. And yes, they also do cryptids. So that is the Rustic Supply Co. Rustic Supply Company. Check them out on Etsy, the Rustic Supply Co. And the newest one, you guys, Partly Cloudy Collective. They do handmade ornaments and small signage, things like that to hang on your wall, some type, kind of a decor. Check them out, partlycloudycollective.com. You can email them at partlycloudycollective@gmail.com or go to facebook.com/partlycloudycollective to check out their online store. You guys, that's Party Cloudy Collective. They're a new sponsor of the April giveaway, as are Rustic Supply Co. and Ally Coffee. And don't forget, you guys, on June 6th, yours truly will be a guest speaker at the first annual Arkansas Cryptid Fest. That's June 6th at CL Bart. That's it, CL Bart. Sorry, I couldn't read it that well. And it's located at 600 North Broadway Street in North Little Rock, Arkansas. And that will be on June 6th. So hopefully I'll see you guys there. And one other thing, myself, Josh from Mysteries Unknown, and Cody from Strange Conspiracies, you guys, we're all doing a meet and greet on June 5th at Green Door Collectibles in Knoxville, Arkansas. So if you guys want to check that out, you can shoot me an email at thecryptidpodcast72@gmail.com. That's thecryptidpodcast72@gmail.com. If you guys plan on attending, let us know so we kind of get an idea of how many people are going to show up. And yeah, it's the Green Door Collective, you guys, in Knoxville, Arkansas. All right. There you go. What is the word tonight, guys? You guys having a good time so far? I did. I did. You know what? I'll be honest with you. My favorite thing in the package that you sent me is the Bible. That's my favorite thing. So I truly, truly appreciate that. Thanks, JR. Appreciate that, man. And I noticed that Jason Finch is a member for 6 months. Jason, thanks, buddy. So again, thank you so much. Mandy, what's going on? How are you doing? Welcome to the channel, you guys. And I saw your daughter is uh hanging out with you, Josie, and I hope she starts feeling better. So, Katana, this is Dano. If you can hear me, I hope you get to feeling better, kiddo. And we all wish you a speedy recovery. All right, Robbie. Yeah, let me know. Absolutely, let me know. Working out the details for an outing tomorrow could be something great. I hope so. All right, you guys, let's get back into the stories. Now, we all know Scotland has Nessie. We in the United States we have Champ, or is that in Canada? But we'll say this: North America, we have Champ, we have Ogopogo, and you guys, we have another one here in Indiana: Lake monsters and river beasts. So, perhaps the most famous of these known uh, creatures known as Meshikenbeck. I know I'm completely butchering that. It's said to inhabit Lake Manitou near Rochester. According to Potawatomi legend, this massive serpent with a head like a horse and body covered in shimmering yellow spotted scales, it is revered. Uh, uh, the lake is revered as a sacred lake. The native uh, tribe that has lived in that area, they called it Devil's Lake. Now, they would not fish or swim in the waters for fear of disturbing the beast. Settlers' accounts seem to collaborate the native legends. In 1838, an article in the Logansport Telegraph describes a monster in the lake 60 feet long, and it looked like a huge snake. Another witness, a blacksmith, claimed to have seen the creature up close, describing it having a head 3 feet across and a body dingy colored with bright yellow spots. Now, this is just one of the many aquatic type cryptids said to have lurked in Indiana's waters. And the Ohio River near um, Vevey, I hope I'm saying that right, Vevey, locals in the 1890s reported seeing mud mermaids, bizarre amphibious creatures with yellowish skin, webbed hands, and dog like ears. And in 1955, two women swimming in the Ohio River near Evansville had a terrifying encounter with a green clawed beast that allegedly grabbed one of them and dragged her underwater, leaving a vivid green handprint on her leg. Even the Wabasha River has its own resident monster, a colossal catfish said to weigh up to 150 pounds that lurks in the wreckage of a sunken train. Now, fishermen have long swapped tales of the beast, though the existence has never been confirmed. So, what are we to make of these aquatic enigmas? Could they really be some type of undiscovered species lurking in Indiana's lakes and rivers? Who knows? The world's waterways have yielded surprising discoveries before. The the oh man, I can't say this word. I've said it a few times. It's that old ancient, they call it the living fossil. It's a fish, and they found it off of South Africa and Japan and things like that. Um, they say that, oh, Darren, thank you so much, man. New member, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Um, yeah, they're finding new species all the time, you guys, especially if you look at the landmass that we have um explored and how often we're finding new things. You have some areas on the planet. Uh-oh, Elephant is going off already. 5 gifted sub or memberships. Thank you so much, Elephant. I appreciate that. You guys, we've had, you know, the oceans, they say that's it. That's the name of the fish. I think you spelt it pretty close. I just can't pronounce it. The coelacanth? I think that's how you say it, the coelacanth. Um, you guys, you think about it. It's said that we've only explored 10% of our oceans, and we haven't explored some of the deepest parts. Also, if you think about it, there are still parts of the Amazon that haven't been explored. There are, parts, even in here in the United States. Think about the Pacific Northwest. Think about states that have these massive expanses of forests that have really never seen any humans walk among it. Probably not for hundreds hundreds of years. So, I mean, I think about it. If you guys really think about it, we are literally just a drop of water in our oceans. It's huge. So those are some of those. Now they go on to say, they have they don't get into great detail, but I'm definitely going to be reading on some more things here. But some of the first accounts of Bigfoot, wild men, or hairy humanoids date back in Indiana in the 1800s when settlers in the densely forested regions of the southern and central Indiana began reporting sightings of wild men, tall um, humanoids that seemed to dwell in the wilderness. Now, in 1839, a newspaper in Michigan City reported on a wild child, a 4-foot tall creature covered in light brown hair that was spotted roaming the hills near town. And in the 1840s, farmers in Elkhart County reported a spat of livestock killings by an unknown man like beast. So, but it wasn't until like the 20th century that Bigfoot fever really took hold in the Hoosier State. So again, oh, come on now. Josie, thank you so much. Katana, we got you, kiddo. We got you. We got you. So, but think about it, you guys. Bigfoot has been around, especially well, reported back in the early 1800s. But like I said, it wasn't until the 20th century it started getting crazy. Now we're gonna go from here. We're gonna go over to we'll read some dogman encounters that are in Indiana. Let's see what we have here. And then I think I figured out how to utilize a new site and get information. Now, you guys, I know there's probably been way more encounters reported of Dogman, but there's only one on this site that I go to. Okay. And it's Floyd County, Indiana. And it's a short one. I had never heard of Dogman, but I saw one in town run past the floodgates down by the river on my way to the recently opened park that was closed due to the floodwaters. It didn't look like a scary werewolf, but more like a weird dog running on 3 legs. Its tail was curled up. I went on a quest to find out what it was because I'd never seen. I have never hallucinated, and I knew what I had saw. The ones most people are reporting are not exactly what I saw. However, I had it stopped to look at me. I'm sure this is, you guys, honestly, this is a report of a three-legged dog. That's what I believe. I've seen dozens of three-legged dogs with a curled up tail. So sorry about that one. And let's go to this one here. Now I am at the Bigfoot mapping project and I'm looking at, and you know what? I'm going to share. Let me share this with you guys real quick. Okay. me bring this over here. Let's share this. And let me know if you guys can see this. Let me know if you guys can see. What's up, Codex? How you doing, buddy? Robbie, hello. So can you guys see my screen? I have JR saying, yep. Anybody else? Can you see my screen? Yes, sir. We got one. Okay, here we go, you guys. So if you guys look at this, okay, what we're seeing, let me zoom out. Let me zoom out for you guys. This is, look at these, all of it. These are all sightings, you guys, or some type of activity with Bigfoot. And if you look, here's Indiana right here. And as we go in closer, so like here is Patoka River National Wildlife Refuge right here. And if I click on one of these, exactly, exactly, Bear. United States has measles. Say if I click on this yellow Bigfoot right here, then what I can do, okay, well, nope, that's an older one. Let's do this. Let's click on this green one right here. Okay, so let's see here. 81 gives us, see if it'll give me. So the account of fishing at night in the White River Bottoms land. If I can expand this here. Yeah, it's not letting me expand it, you guys. But I'm able to read each one of these little accounts, and that's what I'll be doing. I just want to show you guys what this map is and where I'll be reading from. But I mean, if you look right now, I found interesting is you look right, where's it at? Here's Ohio. Northeastern Ohio is where a lot of those sightings that just happened in Ohio. It's the Bigfoot mapping project. Go to bigfootmap.com and you can see this map. They have an old one and a new one. So here we go. Yeah, it's definitely cool. I'm gonna really get to I'm gonna try to Connecticut. Well, I can kind of show you Connecticut. I'll show you here. All right, where's Connecticut at? Connecticut's right here. We're zooming on Connecticut. So, what's up, Larry? How you doing, buddy? Okay. Well, Larry, I definitely would love to have you on the show, and we're going to start reading some of these encounters. Let's see here. All right. So I'm going to stop sharing, and then I'm going to start reading some of these for you guys. I'll read a couple of them. And let's see here. Yeah, it is. It's a lot. Green pillows, what's going on? That map is from the Bigfoot mapping project. All right, here we go, guys. Come on, pop up. Let's see here. Okay, so here's a sighting, 1949, Boone County. And let's see if I can find anything out here. So Charles Jones and George Kaufman reported being chased from the banks of Sugar Creek, where they were fishing by a brown gorilla. Nearly 30 Thorntown residents were reported to have seen it. They estimate it as weighing about 250 pounds. It had protruding teeth. That's an interesting encounter. Let's let's go back down here to the Patoka River National Wildlife Refuge. You guys, this is a hot spot. Um, 1985, Knox City. Doug McCoy sent in a letter in 1989 tells of 3 sightings involving 6 witnesses in the 3-month period. They say footprints were associated with 2 of the sightings, and footprints were found where no sightings were involved. McCoy, okay, I want to hear. Let's see if I can hear the. Okay, they're not giving me any information on the actual one here. Okay, let's get out of that one. Let's see here. John Green, Bigfoot. Let's see here. All right, so this is nearest town is Maysville in Knox County. Individual was fishing at night in the White River bottom land in the lower part of Beaver Dam. Jack Langsford saw 2 glowing red eyes, and by the light of his lantern, and saw let's see, and fire, saw a hairy, erect creature sticking up 4 feet out of what is to believe 4 feet of water. Okay. So this thing was 8 feet tall. Okay. So this thing just stood up out of the water. All right, let's go to here. Let's see here. October 1981 in Lawrence County, Indiana. The sighting occurred in October of 1981, and it states, I had just been discharged from the Marine Corps. I was 21 at the time. I've lived in this area of Indiana my entire life. I'm an avid hunter, outdoorsman with much experience. I'm a raccoon hunter also, and have been hunting at night by myself many times. Now, this is a warm Saturday afternoon. It was late October. My sister and her boyfriend, his sister, and myself all went on a picnic at Spring Mill State Park. After the picnic, my sister's boyfriend and her went home. The other girl and myself decided to go out riding around in the country to enjoy the fall leaves. We were heading east of Bedford, Indiana, on a small gravel road near the airport. This road went to a small creek bottom by Leatherwood Creek. There was thick forest on one side of the road and a cornfield on the other, surrounded by thick briars. We had crossed the bridge over Leatherwood Creek, and I put my 4x4 truck off to the side of the road. We were heading east. I was looking down, adjusting the radio, when my companion stated that someone was watching us. I looked up, and to my disbelief, I saw something standing in the middle of the road about 50 to 60 yards in our front. This thing was easily 6 to 7 feet tall, standing upright. It was covered in long, dark gray and brown hair. I could not see its face. I could feel the hair on the back of my neck stand up. My companion was terrified. I slowly moved my M1 carbine from its case, removed, sorry, and inserted a magazine. The creature continued to watch us closely. I opened the truck door and stepped out on the road. I began moving slowly towards the creature, and as I did, it turned and ran through the briars in the cornfield. I returned to my truck. I was very shaken. I've never seen anything like this. My companion insisted that I take her home, which I did. We never went out there again. I've often wondered why I did not fire my weapon at this creature. I guess it looked somewhat human, and it made no threatening behavior towards me. I never reported this incident. I figured no one would believe me anyway. Now, there have been some other reports near Bedford in the Hoosier National Forest, which is very near to the location where this event took place. Okay. Trying to find a couple more stories here for you guys. So back in 1972, Wayne County in Richmond, Indiana, in a place called Springwood Park. Um, what they found was a large footprint. So the area of the sighting, this place was called Springwood Park, and on the northern outskirts of Richmond. Richmond is about 15 miles away from Economy. At the time, Springwood was a private owned park. It is a very large park bordering, um, and at the time, it had large tracts of woodland around it. The far north end of the park is has very dense undergrowth. No one ever ventured that far back except for a few friends and myself. There is a railroad that cuts through the park, and this is where I saw the print. On the day I saw it, I was extremely cold outside, maybe 15 degrees. About 3 inches of snow had fallen the night before. Um, I love wandering around the woods after fresh fallen snow. Walking along the tracks, I stopped for the rest. I stopped for a rest on a big metal box that belonged to the railroad. This is when I noticed the prints. They crossed the tracks a few feet in front of me, and then went around the box and into the woods. The other side of the tracks dropped off into a steep embankment into a small valley. The tracks came from the valley, crossed the tracks into the woods. Now, what was strange was that they were barefoot tracks, but they were not large tracks. They were more normal size man size tracks, but barefoot at that. You are thinking, did you follow them? Not on Aunt Betty's tootie. I don't know what that means, guys. I could see them for about 20 yards or so, and they headed into the thicker part of the woods. I was alone, and I'm not crazy. Hmm. Okay, you're outside, 15 degrees, and you see some barefoot tracks walking in the snow. I would not, I don't know. I don't know if that's considered a Bigfoot sighting or a Class B or anything like that. That's just not one that I would really consider anything, important. Let's see here. Nope. We'll do something else here. All right. Let's see here. All right. Let's hit this story up here. Let's do. Now, this is a Class B encounter, June 4th. It says vocalations were heard and rocks were thrown at a fisherman and his family on the Blue River. The nearest town is Fredericksburg, South Shepherd Road off of Highway 150. Now, the person states that I am a 40-year-old engineer. I have been passively interested in Bigfoot since I was a kid. I never gave it much serious thought until 2 or 3 years ago. A strange animal was sighted near Bloomfield, Indiana, where my sister lives. This event reignited my interest, and I began doing a little research on the subject and ran across the BFRO website. Since then, a coworker named John, that's not his real name, but I'll call him John, told me about an experience he had with his wife and son last summer on a 600-acre farm along Blue River in southern Indiana near Fredericksburg. The farm belongs to the CEO of our company. He used it for recreation only. Hmm. I wish I had that kind of money where I had a 600-acre farm that was just used as recreation. There's a house on the property, but no one lives there. Over the past few years, he has had some problem with folks who used to own the property, and one of the neighbors stealing things and tearing stuff up. Well, that's sad. My friend and coworker is not at all interested in cryptozoology or Bigfoot and would not take the time to write this report. Therefore, with his permission, I am submitting this report to you on their behalf. By June, we were all stressed out trying to finish our project on time. John, my coworker, said he took his wife and 12-year-old son out on four-wheelers to the boss's farm for some fishing and stress relief. I asked him how the fishing was, and he said we didn't catch a thing. But I think that crazy drug fiend was back there messing with us. Okay. What do you mean? I asked. We were fishing in the river, and right after it got dark, somebody kept throwing big rocks or something in the water where we were fishing, trying to scare us off. I think it was that nut that used to live on the property or the crazy neighbor. I just couldn't get a good look at him. He was adamant about how big the splashes were. Uh, I said that I was intrigued. I said, "Tell me more about the story from the beginning." And this is how he related the facts to me about what happened to him, his wife, and his son. We drove the truck to the back of the property, unloaded the four-wheelers, drove them down the hill into a dry stream bed that followed it to where it intersects with the Blue River. They arrived about 8 p.m. This is where they set up on the stream bed. They had their Coleman lanterns out. As it began to get dark around 5:50. It had been dark for almost an hour, and they heard a huge splash in the water about 150 to 200 feet up the stream. My son goes, "Dad, what was that?" It was a big splash. He explained to his son that it was probably just a limb that broke off and fell into the water. They continued to fish, talking and relaxing. After a minute or so, there was another big splash in the water, but this time it was closer. He described the sound as whatever was hitting the water as large enough to make a huge splash, and then rain droplets uh, for 2 or 3 seconds afterwards. So something huge was tossed into the river, big enough to make a big enough geyser to come out of the water and then kind of rain back down on them. It was loud enough to be heard over 100 feet away in a running stream of water. He said it sounded like something the size of a bowling ball or a heavy log, say 8 inches in diameter or 20 inches long. So by now, he's kind of wondering what's going on. He can't see anything beyond the circle of light projected from the lanterns. So he goes to a four-wheeler to retrieve the ultra high intense portable searchlight. Just then, splash a third time, but this time closer. He shines the light around and doesn't see anything. The brush around the creek they say, is pretty dense. They are standing a standing a dry feeder stream. Okay, basin about eye level to the ground on the surrounding banks. It's so extremely difficult to see very far. Now he says his son is scared. John started talking out loud. "All right, I guess I'm going to have to get my gun out now," he yells as he rattles around in the tackle box. Splash! A fourth object is now thrown and hits the water, yet even closer upstream, just a little further away from where they're at. Again, all these objects, though never seen, are apparently 10 to 20 pounds hitting the surface of the water, making a large spray. He says now his friend is mad. He's shining the light all around, turns it off, and tries to pick up any movement. looking for anything that would indicate that there may be something close by tossing the rocks. He shouts, "Come out where I can see you, or I'll start shooting." All of this is a bluff, mind you, and he doesn't really have a gun at all. So he then turns his light off and listens. About a minute or two passes, and then splash. This time, he is ready with the light and sees the spray of the water from the impact about 20 feet away from him. At this point, his son is pretty scared and is ready to leave. He keeps trying to determine where the objects are coming from. As he's looking around, he cannot tell if whoever's throwing these is either on the opposite side of the bank or on the same side that they're on. Now, he never saw anything to confirm his notion, but uh, the opposite bank, they say, is a steep hillside that goes up 100 feet or more at an angle at about 80 degrees. Their side is relatively flat with an open meadow and tree line along the bank to their left and dense woods to the right. By now, his son is terrified and he wants to go home, so they pack up to leave. As they're gathering their gear, another splash, this time even closer. Finally, after they have everything ready to go, another time, another splash, this time bigger. And then again, seconds later, another splash. John, this time, he saw the column of water spray shoot up about 20 feet into the air. He did indicate he did not see anything in the direction that he thinks it came from. They got on their four-wheelers and rode back to the truck. So, you guys, if you think about this, it doesn't say how long they were out, maybe an hour, if that. And if my counting is correctly, this thing, what, 8, 9 times it threw something at him? Now, I'm telling you guys right now, after maybe the second time or third time, something splashes within 20 to 40 feet from me, yeah, I think I would have been gone. I said, "Okay, I'm leaving. I got it. We're out of here." I don't understand why he hung around so long with this kid, especially his son is terrified. And he didn't mention on how his wife was. So, 1984, man remembers observing a creature taking food while camping near Manchester. This is in Manchester, Indiana, or yeah, Indiana, Dearborn County. This individual says that my sighting happened while camping a mile into the woods, where several reports were told to me in southeastern Indiana. I saw the creature from behind and the side while it was squatting down and eating our food that we had tied up in a tree, about 12 to 15 feet to be exact. The night was very clear. It was a hot summer night, and there was a three-quarter full moon. The encounter started with hearing vocalizations coming from the distance that moved closer to our campsite. The woods were dark, and the only visuals that we had were from the light of our fire. We could hear heavy footfalls the closer the creature got to us, and we heard splashing as it rounded a pond that was at the bottom of the trail down the hill from us. With this, the 5 of us freaked out and ran into our tent to hide. We could hear branches breaking along the path from the pond as the heavy footfalls got closer and closer. With that, we heard a loud snap, which we believe was the branch breaking where our food was tied up. The pillowcases it was in were shredded, and we heard the unmistakable sound of plastic bags being ripped apart and crunching as it ate our chips and Doritos. I heard what sounded like what I can only describe as aluminum cans being torn apart. With that, my curiosity got the best of me, and I raised up from my kneeling position and peeked out the tent window. About 10 feet away from the tent, this huge, dark, hairy creature was squatting, licking out my can of bean dip. When it had finished, it casually tossed it into the weeds, poked through the remains of the chips, stood up, and walked on up the trail over the hill. I would estimate this thing to be about 7 to 8 feet tall, very muscular build, large, large, powerful thighs and arms, covered in dark brown to black hair. Its head was set onto its shoulders, um, kind of like a gorilla. Also, it had a gamey smell, kind of like really like dirt, wet dog. Now, at dawn, we left the tent, investigated the area, and found the bean dip can just torn apart. The branch that had held our food had been pulled down, and the pillowcases were shredded. As we packed up to leave, some guys came down from the top of the hill where they had been staying in an old cabin. They asked us if we had been messing around their site because all of their gear and food had been raided in the night. We told them the same thing hit us earlier in the night. With that, we packed up and left. They were asked if there were more sightings in that area, and apparently there have been some coon hunters in that area that had seen the creature. Guys, this is a fun story to me, and the reason I think it's a fun story is because they gave great descriptions on what this thing was eating, what it was raiding, why, you know, why leave a bag of Doritos? Absolutely not. He ate the Doritos, the chips, the bean dip, probably tasted soda for the first time. What would you guys do in that situation? What would you guys do if the fight you were out, you had a bunch of buddies with you or whoever, you hear these noises coming up from around the pond and you run into your tent and you hear your tent getting raided. Now, I'll tell you, I've been in that situation before. Um, but there was more than one. And yeah, I was just a kid. So I was terrified until the next morning when we found our uh our camp completely destroyed. The only thing that wasn't destroyed was the deer sleds and just a couple of other just small things in our tent. Everything else was chairs, tables, all the food was gone. It was crazy. So, hey, what's up there, No Totem? If you guys are new to the channel, new to the chat, drop a one in the comments. Let us know where you guys are tuning in from. And if you guys haven't already done so, please subscribe to the channel. Just let you guys know that I'm doing a where was that? That story was in is Indiana. It was in Dearborn County, Manchester, Indiana. That's where it was at. All right, we'll do one more. And I'll do an announcement. So let's see here. You know, there's really I'm looking in the state of Indiana on the BFRO, and they only have 2 counties that have 5 reports. They have one that has 8, but everything else is like 1s and 2s and 3s. Trying to find something like scary, something like that. Let's see here. I think I've read that one. Let's see here. Oh, here we go. May 2020. Um, doesn't look like it's a big one, but it was in Yellowwood State Forest. Nearest town is Nashville, Indiana. The report goes, "Me and my 11-year-old daughter were spring turkey hunting in 2020 in Yellowwood State Forest behind our house. She saw it first, then I saw it. I watched in disbelief as it moved away from us. It was approximately 6 feet tall, gray in color, very, very strong looking. The speed of it in a span of 50 meters plus it said it cleared 50 meters in seconds. Me and my daughter retraced those steps, and it took us 6 minutes through the same terrain. Um, Now the investigator spoke to the witnesses, and they said that upon they actually took them to the place where they had seen it. Said upon our arrival, we proceeded through the logging trail to the spot where it was sighted. Giving the lay of the land and the angle of view, they say it estimated to be actually 7 to 8 feet in height rather than the 6 feet that was originally estimated. The daughter said that the figure was grayish in color, arms reaching almost to the knees, with really big hands. Um, the investigator asked her, "Well, what did you remember the most?" And she said, "Its muscles. It looked like it played football, but bigger." They went back to the house, and they said they met with his wife, who found a couple of prints in the creek area. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, I think who in here has, kids that are, I want to say between the age, say 6 and say 17, that you would go out hunting with or fishing with or something like that. Because I know when I took my daughter fishing when she was younger, if something, even if it was a regular person showed up, um, to kind of fish in the same area, I went on like automatic alert. Like, just like, okay, here's my kid. She needs to stay right here. I don't want her doing this. I don't want her doing that. And then, sooner or later, either they would move or we would move. But still, I mean, how do you think you would feel if you guys are seeing something that's 8 feet tall, probably 800 to 1,000 pounds, and it's walking away from you? I mean, yeah, you're turkey hunting. You turkey hunt with either a crossbow, a bow and arrow, or a shotgun. But seriously, what do you think you would feel? How do you think you would feel if you see that? Because me, I'll tell you right now, I I I would probably just say lay down, stay as quiet as you possibly can, don't move. Yeah, as long as it's walking away, I don't have a problem. But I mean, think about it. What if you're sitting in a blind, or if you're because I've turkey hunted before, and you're sitting at the base of a tree, you know, and you've got your kid next to you, maybe 12 years old, say, and you see this thing walk out and it just looks right at you and just stands there and looked at you. I don't know what I would do. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'd be terrified. Even Valkyrie, even if it was walking away, I'd still be terrified. And I could tell you I'd probably never go there again. Even if the hunting or fishing was fantastic, I would never go there again. I really wouldn't. You guys, let's read another one. Let's read some more here. This happened in 2012, and the title of it is 8 years ago, like it was only 8 days ago. This happened in Brown County, Indiana. Nearest town is Nashville. Um, Greasy Creek SR 46. I don't know what the SR. I'm something road. I would assume. So the encounter goes something like this. My husband and I rented a cabin in Nashville. We just came down for a year to Indiana. We came down for a year to Indiana. I don't get that. About 11 p.m., we went to bed. Within minutes, our dog started going nuts. My husband got up to check and open the front door of the cabin. It's covered by a porch. It was raining pretty hard. The porch light doesn't work. So it was dark. Oh, I think I've heard, guys, I think I've actually heard this one before and not reading it, heard it. He closed the door and told me to bring a flashlight and a firearm. I ran out of bed and went to him by the door. He said something was oh, you guys, I did hear about this story. I got to remember where I heard this. Have you guys heard this story before? Let me know. Okay, guys, seriously, listen to this story. This is crazy. I've heard this story before. So again, they go to bed. Within minutes of them going to bed, okay, um, their dog starts going bananas. Okay, their dogs are going crazy. Husband gets up, opens up the door. Okay, there is no, there is no, there's no light. So he closes the door, tells his wife, "Bring a light, bring a firearm." Okay, so she does. He said something was breathing heavy on the porch to the left of the door. At this point, it occurred to me that our dogs were now strangely silent. Being Akitas that have seen bear, wolves, coyotes, and lynx up close in Alaska, this was not normal for my dogs. My husband slowly opened the door again, and sure enough, something was breathing very heavy just to the left side of the door. It also smelled. It was a very strong, musky mix of soggy old carpet and wet dog. We closed the door again while we chambered around, and I lit the flashlight. And when we did, a tactical to the left where we heard the sound, it was now gone. But wet footprints were, hold on. It was gone, but wet footprints that looked like they were made with soggy, fuzzy bedroom slippers were across the floor. It had come across our front lawn and up to the right side of the porch and across the door to the other side where we heard it. The prints were close together while passing the front window and the door, and when it fled, it did in one step. The footprints were a lot larger than my foot in my slippers, and I wear a woman's size 9 wide. Oh, I wonder if it realized what chambering around meant since we had opened the door twice and it stayed breathing heavy right on this other side of the door where we couldn't see it. Dogs didn't scare it. The two of us talking didn't scare it. That would indicate that it had human interaction, maybe with hunters before. Not uncommon with bears in Alaska. A lot of people will chamber around, not waiting to hurt it, but ready if it gets aggressive. They are smart and learn fast what that sound is. Another strange thing is that the dogs paced all night. They did not do this after confronting an 800-pound bear in Alaska, literally. They worked together and chased all of the above away from around the home. We lived in a cabin off grid. Not sure if we have a stinky homeless person wearing bedroom slippers living in the woods, but it was very strange occurrence. And my husband was a career ranger, special forces, not one to let his imagination run wild. We are stumped. Now, the dogs, both of them, pooped in the cabin, something our dogs know not to do. Um, but they must have been extremely frightened for them to use the bathroom in the house. Holy smokes, you guys. I'm gonna tell you guys right now. I'm gonna tell you that you open the door and you hear something breathing very heavily just to the left of the door. Did I read this story before? I've heard this story before. Mm-mm-mm. No, 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 and no. Here's one near let's see here. Near Bedford, south of Brown County in Hoosier National Forest. They said while backpacking near the horse trails, an access point in the county below Brown County, I experienced a confrontation with a bipedal primate. It was early March of 1998. I was alone. Around 7 o'clock in the evening, after hiking several miles, I set up camp in a wooded area just 100 yards from the horse trail. Darkness was descending quickly, so I was in a rush to set up camp and prepare my supper. After gathering firewood and getting my fire started for light and cooking, I suddenly began hearing leaves and brush rustling below me and to the east along the ravine that I camped above. At this moment, I thought to myself that this was a bit early for mushroom hunters and probably too dark for them to see any. Maybe it was a deer. Anyway, I grabbed my knife for protection and grabbed the flashlight, cautiously approaching the ravine where the noise were coming from. I yelled out into the direction of the sounds and aimed my flashlight, and to my astonishment, viewed a very tall, upright, human looking being hiding behind a clump of trees close to the stream. The creature stood about 7 feet tall, as I could see its silhouette from the left side of the trees. It was leaning forward and exposing its head to me. He, or it, was approximately 40 feet from my position, and the light coming from my flashlight shined into its eyes. I could see that he had dark hair covering his conical shaped head and dark eyes in the front of his skull. I knew immediately that this could not be a man. I was very frightened and yelled out in hopes of scaring it off. He ran into the stream and away from me about 6 feet before ducking behind another tree. I continued to follow him with my flashlight and scream at him with threats. This went on for 2 or 3 minutes before he took off running down the creek and out of sight. The rest of the night, I stayed awake near my camp, fire fearing uh, a return visit and waiting for daylight to return to my truck. I would have packed up that night and left, only my truck was in the direction that hairy bipedal fled to, and I was miles in anyway. This entire situation was very frightening to me because I always thought that Bigfoot existed. If it existed, it would be in the Cascades or the Canadian Rockies. Ugh, you guys, I'm telling you, how crazy is that? Okay, here you guys go. This is what he was cooking. So I bet you this is what drew it in. Okay. Uh, I was cooking a pork steak on a stick over my campfire. Do you not think for 1 second? I don't know if you guys have ever cooked a pork steak. But man, when you cook them up, they smell so good. I'm telling you. I'm surprised that thing just didn't come in and snatch it. Holy smokes, guys. 40 feet from his position? Man. And this person is shouting and yelling at him for 2 to 3 minutes, and all it's doing is running from tree to tree. Come on. That's crazy. No, thank you. Okay, let's see what we got here. Uh, August 2021, or excuse me, 2001, sorry. 3 friends have close encounter. Nearest town is Mount Vernon. Nearest road is Highway 3 South. Man, they always happen early. It was 1:30 in the morning. Myself and my 2 friends were, uh, cave hunting at Crosley Wildlife Refuge, just walking around the woods. Come on, at 1:30 in the morning, you're out walking around in the woods looking for caves? I'll tell you, they'll find a cave when they fall into it. Um, we had walked about a half a mile off the road, following a small stream. I commented to the other 2 that there is a strong smell of urine, and they both agreed with me. We came to a small log jam and stopped walking. I was looking around on the bark, and I thought I heard something. And I did. Not only, but what I saw, again, I don't understand why people don't proofread when they submit something. Franklin, you're out here, buddy. Have a great night, man. Thanks for dropping in, buddy. Appreciate you. I did. Not only that, but I saw something as well. I'm not too sure what it was. What I saw was about 8.5 to 9 feet tall. Its head was about as big as a cow's head. It was very large, green eyes, possibly from my headlamp. Its eyes were the size of silver dollars. I could see its ears about 3 inches back past its eyes. One of my friends also saw it. I picked up a rock and threw it at the animal. It just walked away and stopped. We all at this point started to walk back fast to where we parked the truck, all the while throwing rocks at it. It followed us, but never came closer than about 30 feet. As far as a better description, it was dark out. I guess it might have been dark brown or black in color. And again, a very strong smell of urine came right before we saw it. They asked, any other notices? Did you notice anything else? Again, they mentioned the strong smell of urine. It didn't rush at us, and it didn't run off. It sounded like it was just walking. Um, yeah, you guys. Here's the thing. I wish they would say how old these guys were. Cuz I don't know about you guys, and I think I'm going to end the stories there for right now. I don't know about you guys, but if number 1, I wouldn't be up at 1:30 in the morning walking around at night. I don't care if I have a flashlight or headlamp on or something. I'm not going to walk around the woods looking for a cave. Okay? You smell something that you just don't normally smell, so you go looking for the source of the smell, and then you see something that's about 9 feet tall. And what's your first reaction? Oh, I know. Let's throw rocks at it. Let's throw rocks at this massive 9.5 or 8.5, 9 foot tall creature. Let's just throw rocks at it. And then when you throw a rock at it, you don't hit it, you're trying to scare it. It just calmly gets up and walks away about 6 feet and then turns around and looks at you. So you chuck more rocks at it, and then it decides, I think I'm gonna walk up to these guys and ask them, "Why are they throwing rocks?" Stupid. Stupid, stupid, stupid. This was Mount Vernon, Indiana. Now, all these are in Indiana because 'cause we're doing Indiana tonight. Mount Vernon and Jennings County. That's just dumb. Seriously. Okay, no, not that. Let's do this one here. Okay, here we go. 1973. Sheridan is the nearest town. Hamilton County, Indiana. They're retelling a sighting they had when they were a child. So this is in the summer, actually fall of 1973. I was around 8 years old. It was about dusk when I walked into the cornfield that was directly behind our house. I played there a lot. The corn was very tall. I first heard a noise, which sounded like heavy footsteps and the corn being pushed aside. I froze in fear, fearing that it was an escaped sow. But the footsteps sounded like a two-legged step, not four. I froze when suddenly the corn in front of me split apart. Standing in front of me was a very tall and very thick, dark figure. I did not look all the way up. I was very startled. There was a very strong odor. I can still smell it when I think about it. It was a very musky smell and very strong. I was within arm's length of whatever this thing was. Uh, and when, let's see, I was in arm length of whatever this thing was when it made a heavy sigh or grunt, kind of like a strong exhale. And then suddenly it just ran around me. Before I could turn to look again, it was gone. My mother heard the footsteps and the corn breaking, but did not see what I had seen. Um, there were sightings reported in a nearby town called Sharpsville about a week later. That is about 20, less than 20 miles away. They said the incident was covered on the Indianapolis News. Okay, I'm gonna tell you guys right now. 8 years old, back in 1973, I would have been one, almost two. You guys, I'm 54 now, and I would never, ever go into a cornfield at dusk. I would never go in a cornfield to play. Has anybody seen that movie, Children of the Corn? I don't know about you guys. What, Skinwalker, 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 Skinwalker. I'll say it 6 times. Not scared of skinwalkers. Not in the least. Just like Bloody Mary. I'll go into the bathroom and say Bloody Mary 3 or 4 or 5, 10, 1,600 times. I'm not scared about that stuff. What I am scared of is going into a cornfield at night at 8 years old and then coming face to face with a freaking Bigfoot. No, thank you. Mad Hatter used to play. What? What? Tony, you played in corn? You guys are crazy. You guys are crazy. What, you want me to go and do a live stream and say Bloody Mary like 3 or 4 or 5 times in the bathroom? I'll do it. Hide and seek? Are you crazy? Do you guys not know that wild pigs hang out in cornfields? You guys are crazy. No. No, thank you. All right, let's hear some more. You guys, Let's hear some more. This is weird, you guys, okay? So the last one I read was in September of 73. This one is in July of 73. Westfield, Indiana, Hamilton County, Cary Road. Now, this was a telephone interview, and the person being interviewed stated, "When I was 13 years of age, a friend and I were riding our bikes on a county road near some abandoned railroad tracks. We were startled to hear a maple tree come crashing to the ground. My friend immediately left on his bicycle." Man, what kind of friend is that? You're going to leave your boy hanging right then and there. The tree was about 2 inches in diameter. Looking up, I was amazed to see a very tall, large animal standing next to the tree. It was about 7.5 feet tall and very hairy. I would guess it weighed around 450, 500 pounds. I was about 90 feet away from it. I froze in disbelief. We stared at each other for at least 2 minutes. It then slowly started to walk towards me and I panicked. I turned my bicycle around and rode home as fast as I could. How many other witnesses were they? Do you guys ask? Well, I'll tell you. There was just one other witness, but he didn't stick around because his boy bailed on him. That's no, thank you. Crazy. He said the animal's arms were very long, and as it walked towards him, it was on 2 feet. Exactly, Junior. Jeepers Creepers, no thank you. No thank you. All right, let's look at something else here. Oh, this is a good one. You guys ready for this one? This happened near Steelwell in LaPorte County, Indiana, near Highway 104. In October of 1987, a friend and I went camping just outside Kingsbury Ordnance Plant, KOP for short, in Kingsbury, Indiana. We were about a mile, mile and a half off of Hupp Road, which is the road that enters the KOP. We set up camp just before dark, around 6 p.m. or so. After about 45 minutes, my friend went home to eat dinner and call another friend of ours to come out when he gets off duty. Just around dusk, while getting fire started, I heard rustling in the woods about 25 yards away. Now, I didn't think anything of it at the time, and because of the population of deer in the area, I thought it might have been one of them. After about 10 minutes, I heard the noise again, but it was about 15 yards away from me this time. I yelled, "Hey!" real loud. The noise stopped for about 5 minutes. Then I heard grunting about the same distance away. Getting nervous, I yelled, "Knock it off!" I then picked up a stick and said, "I have a gun." The noise stopped after about 3 or 4 seconds, and as I turned to look at the fire, I heard a loud thump to my right. I looked and saw a large, you guys, if you guys are paying attention, put a one up. You're not, oh my goodness. Put a one in. Okay, this would have been over for me right here. You guys, this would have been over for me so quick. So quick. So I heard the grunting about the same distance away. Getting nervous, I yelled, "Hey, knock it off, buddy." I then picked up a stick and said, "I have a gun." The noise stopped, and after about 3 or 4 seconds, I turned to look at the fire. Okay. I hear a loud thump to my right. I look and saw a large tree stump that landed about 8 feet away from me. I turned around and faced the woods and yelled very loudly, "Knock it off or I'll shoot." I then saw another large log come sailing through the air towards my direction and land about 3 feet in front of me and about 5 feet to the left. I started running down the trail towards the road. I did not hear anything for about the first 100 yards. Then I heard rocks moving as if someone was running in the same direction as I was. But they were they were on the railroad tracks to my left. The sounds of the steps were about 1 second apart, and I heard this for about 8 to 10 seconds. Then it stopped. I ran for about 25 more yards and stopped. Um, let's see here. It was dark and overcast skies, but still there was enough light to see where I was running. I turned and looked behind me and then to my left and saw nothing. I then turned back towards the road and focused on the street light ahead, walking very fast now. I came to a dip in the trail. Then is where I saw it. A large figure standing in front of me. The dip in the trail sloped down to about 3 feet deep and ran the depth for about 30 feet. Then it rose again to ground level. The figure was standing in the center of the dip of the trail and stood at the same height as myself. I'm 5'9", so I figured this thing to be close to 9 feet tall. This thing let out the most godforsaken scream that it would make your blood curdle. I did what any normal person would have done. I took off running towards my right through an open field as fast as I could to get away from this figure. I finally reached my friend's front step about 3/4 of a mile away. At first, I thought it was him, but when he came to the door, he had been eating dinner. His shoes were off. His mom said that he had not left the house. After he ate and our other friend arrived, we all went back out there about 3 hours later. The small tent that we put up had been torn down, logs and stumps that were thrown there lying in the same spot they had landed. I've never forgotten this. For years, I have dreams, actually nightmares, about the creature and that terrible scream. To this day, I'm still scared to go out there. You guys, this thing, this thing chased him, was throwing. Oh my gosh. You guys, that's a scary story. That's scary as heck. Yep. Well, you guys, let me tell you about today's the 11th, you guys. We've got 19 more days left in the month. That's 19 more days to become a member of the channel. And the reason I'm bringing this up is I'm doing a membership giveaway. Okay. And with the membership, and it's $2.99 a month. What you get with that membership is a early access to a Saturday released episode that I do. You get access to all the membership only um, content. I think next week I'm going to do a members only live stream. So if you're a member, you'll be able to jump in onto that live stream. Um, and then you also get your name automatically in for a drawing for either first, second, or third place in the membership giveaway. Now, each one of the sponsors that I or not, well, sponsors of the giveaway, but each one of the small businesses, because they pay me no money. So I get 0 money. I'm helping them out. Um, each one of them have donated items for the giveaway. Ally Coffee is doing a 12 pack for first, a 6 pack for second, and a 3 pack for third. Um, the things that are being donated by um, Partly Cloudy are like some small ornaments. Something this is not one of them, but something like this. A small, two small ornaments for third, a larger one for second, and you need a bigger one for third. And for me, you guys, I'll be throwing in for first place this hat. Then I'll be throwing in a full set of the Cryptid Kids. For second place, I've got a couple of patches that I'll be putting in there, as well as you get 3 of the Cryptid Kids, so you get to pick which one of the Cryptid Kids. And then for third place, I'm gonna throw in again, some stickers, probably a patch, and then you get 1 of the Cryptid Kids. Not to mention you get you'll get like maybe one of these little pictures here. Kinda cut that glare down. I'll sign that if you want to, that as a thank you as well. But yeah, so that's what we'll be doing. So if you guys want to, after this, go over to the channel and hit join, and all you have to do, it's 2.99. You guys get your name automatically put in for the drawing. And again, if you are already a member, your name is already entered for the drawing. So there we go. Richie, I'm sure it's really good, but I'm telling you right now, uh, my channel supports Ally Coffee out of Cadillac, Michigan, my friend, and they are ethically sourced coffee from I think 12 different coffee farms around the world, and um, it's not like these big, big brick and mortar stores or anything like that. So, but yeah. So, does anybody have any questions? Let's have a little Q&A right now. If anybody has any questions, let's hear them. Whoa, Tanya, third order. Nice. I don't think it's as good as Ally Coffee, you guys. Hint, hint. Ally Coffee. AllyCoffee.com. OWLEYE coffee.com. 15% off your order if you put the promo code DANO, DANO, all capital letters, at checkout. Hey, Midnight, not a problem. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And I can't wait for you to be, let me know exact what time I need to be on for Tuesday. Well, you guys, I will do my best to, I'm gonna try to work with the person who makes his hat and see if he can do something. And because he has a website, and I will definitely let him know, and see if maybe he can be a contributor during the um giveaways. Yep, you definitely can. You can definitely, if you guys want to buy a set of the Cryptid Kids, they are, just shoot me an email and I can send you guys the information on them. And yeah, I'll be more than happy to let you guys know, and then we'll get everything squared away for you. Where do I get the Bigfoot hat? I got the Bigfoot hat from a shop in Michigan, and I will be reaching out to them. I love the fact that you guys are really interested in the hat, so I'm definitely gonna be reaching out to him. Um, yeah, I'll let you guys know for sure. Georgina, thank you so much. I'm so glad you're here. Thanks for coming in. Yes, Rod. You guys, Rod is my Aussie mate. He has been on twice on the show. And Rod, I don't know if you know this, but I will be speaking with Gary Friday night. And I haven't heard from Steve. I need to hear from Steve. I would definitely want to get um, um, some cryptid podcast hats made, some t-shirts made. I'm seriously looking into it. I think I found the right place. And so hopefully I'll be able to uh have my own stuff. Hopefully I'll be able to have some stuff at the Cryptid Fest and hopefully at the meet and greet. So, yeah, I can't wait to have Gary on. I'm super stoked. Uh Larry, that's a great question. You guys, let's kind of talk about that real quick. So, oh, dude, hey, elephant. I'm chemo tired. I know what that means, man. Hey, brother, everybody say a prayer for Elephant's Foot. Thank you so much for this 5 gifted subs or memberships. I truly appreciate that, bro. And if you're going through what I think you're going through, man, um, I'll definitely pray for you. My mom went through it. Um, she's a 3-time breast cancer survivor. Unfortunately, uh, she passed away in 2017. Um, and Monday is going to be, wow, 9 years. Monday's going to be 9 years of her passing. So, yeah. Well, we'll continue to say it. Oh man. Um, we'll say some prayers for you. We'll keep you in my prayers. Daniel, you need to do a Bigfoot commercial when you throw rocks at a Bigfoot. When you turn face. That's funny, Carl. That's hilarious. You're in our prayers, elephants. Thank you so much. Thanks for being here. Thanks for those gifted memberships. I truly appreciate it. And yeah, pray God rests his hands on your shoulders and brings you complete healing from the top of your head to the soles of your feet. May he embrace you, protect you, bring you peace and grace. In his name I pray, amen. All right, you guys. Okay. So let me talk about the Oklahoma attack. Now, you guys, I am not going to sit here and tell you that I think you dig the shave look. Well, how about this look? Like it's completely gone. I took it all off because I'm going bald, you guys. I got bald spots like right here. So I'm like, whatever. So I took it all off, and my wife is not happy that I shaved this off, but yeah. Oh well. Children of the Corn was a scary movie. Um, but so back to Oklahoma. I am not going to say that it is a. I'm not going to say that it's a dog man. I'm not going to. I've been in contact with her sister Izzy, and her and I are working together when she can talk with her sister. Now, you guys understand her sister. She is going through a lot of stuff right now. So the contact with Izzy, I whenever I get information from her, we're working on a timeline. I'm not going to go to anything that I see, news agencies, um, other podcasts that have talked about it. I'm working directly with Alicia's sister, and we're going to build a timeline from the incidents from the time she got there to where she's at the time that we do this timeline. So I'm just going to keep praying for her. I think I have a couple of questions. I'm confused as to some events that happened, and I have some questions why something wasn't done, or do we know if something was? I don't know. I don't want to reveal my hand just yet because I know of some stuff so far, and that's coming straight from Alicia's mouth. It's coming straight from her, and I just kind of want to hold off on revealing what I have so far. So, but with that being said, you guys, um, someone had stated that there was a wildlife or exotic zoo or something that is about 21 miles away. Now, I'm not saying that anything escaped from it, but what Alicia described, I can't, for the life of me, I can't. To me, it's not leading up to a canine. I think it's a cat that attacked her. Not a domestic cat, not a house cat, not a lynx, not a bobcat, something bigger. So, with that, I'm gonna leave it there. I don't want to I don't wanna, like I said, reveal my hand yet. So, but Larry, thank you so much, dude. Larry, I need to have you on the show, brother. Kristen, as much as I don't want to say it, I am I'm leaning towards more tiger. Did you hear about the mom that almost DOA her in no, I haven't. Audacious, what's going on? Thanks, Debbie. I appreciate that. Audacious, it's good to see you. I haven't seen you in any of my chats in a while, and then I saw you in Josh's live stream on Thursday. It was great seeing you. Yes, Audacious, that is true. You asked, I thought her clothes were ripped off. Is that true? Yes. Panthers do have huge murder mittens, Josie, but Panthers don't have white underbellies. Yes, Tiger King dawned on. Tiger King absolutely was in Oklahoma. Look it up on Cryptid 911. I will. Thank you so much, Richie. I will, absolutely. Okay, so Amber, wouldn't a big cat have dragged her off? They don't. Okay, the reason the reason I wanna answer that, but I can't answer that is because something that I know, okay? There's something that I know, and I wanna wait until I get a little more information, okay? But I promise you, when I do decide to do an episode on this event, I'm going to absolutely lay everything out as I got it. Hey, Vince, I need you to are we friends on Facebook? If we're not friends on Facebook, please send me a friends request, okay? Dano, were you talking about me when you said you haven't heard from Steve? No, I haven't heard from Australian Steve. Guitar Man VA, what's up? Haven't seen you in a while. How you been? Okay, mate. Hey, Rod, are you still in the chat? Yeah, definitely keep her and her husband and their kids in prayer as well. I can't wait to hear from you on Tuesday. Is everything if everything goes yeah, just let me know. Shoot me an email. Um, I have not heard the testimony of Amelia. Is it Bussy? I haven't. Rod, so have you been in contact with Steve? It's Steve, right? The one that was camping with you that one time. Is there any way you can help me get in contact with her? Yeah, Rod, I haven't heard from Steve. Is there any way you could message me his email address and I'll shoot him an email, let him know that I'm going to be reaching out to him? Murder Mittens. Yeah, that is hilarious. Bear, same thing with you. If you and I are not friends on Facebook, I need you to send me a friends request on Facebook too. All right. Do you think the possible gunshots you heard from a guy from that refuge trying to track it down and kill it? Um, Manco, I'm not sure I understand what you're asking me. Arthur, what's going on? Nice seeing you. Sorry, Toxtex. So, Bear, before you completely jump out of here, please send me a friend's request, and so I need to get in contact with you on something else as well. Dan will seriously seek her out. Guitar Man, shoot me an email, the cryptopodcast72 at gmail.com, the cryptopodcast72 at gmail.com. Shoot me an email with her name so I will try to reach out to her and send me whatever information that you can that's going to help me track her down. Awesome. I hope you talk. Yeah, ask him if you could send me his email address so I can reach out to him. Did you? Oh, man. Hey, Thomas, I'm so glad you liked it. I hope I did Indiana some justice. Um, again, you guys, I'm really trying to kind of shake things up a little bit with this. And I just want to give you guys a great product. And, I feel that I'm not doing that well. Looks like my numbers on certain areas are dropping. And I just want to try to, like I said, mix things up, try to improve on some stuff. I'm really trying to learn editing, so I'm doing a lot of stuff to try to edit. Now I need to see how I can make like maybe a little video, kind of like Josh does, so I can um kind of make like a little music video that goes into it. So thanks, man. I really appreciate that, Thomas. That means a lot to me. Thank you. JJ, thank you so much. Wade, thank you as well, buddy. Bear, did you hear me? Oh, she's sleeping peacefully. Awesome. That's great, man. I am on Facebook, Lady Kickboxer. Home of Bigfoot and sprinters. That's Rod, that's funny. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Valkyrie. I appreciate that. Rita, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yeah, Indiana looks like a beautiful. See, that's the part of Indiana that I want to see. I want to see things like that. I don't really care to go to Indianapolis. I don't really care to go to these big cities. I really don't. Because honestly, you guys, think about this. Rita, just hold your breath because it's coming. I promise I'm working on some stuff. I got I got a big fire right here and I got a bunch of irons in it. So trust me, I'm working on some stuff. I promise you. Okay, I love that. It looks good on a 55-inch TV. Awesome, thank you. Hey, Larry, I'll be reaching out to you, buddy, okay? Thanks, Don Don. Let's go to the woods, absolutely. Steve, Wade, come on, man. Absolutely. So the next show, someone asked if Illinois was next. No, Illinois is not next. The next one, the next state we're doing, you guys, is Kansas and then Kentucky. And I am super excited about Kansas and Kentucky. But then Louisiana. And I'm telling you, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. I'm sorry that I had talked text message. She heard a gunshot, possibly someone yelling. I've heard that as well. And I will discuss that when I get more concrete uh, evidence on that. And again, I'm not going off of news sources. I'm not going off of other podcasts. I'm not saying any other buddy's podcast they did wrong things. I'm not. I just haven't really watched. I haven't paid attention to it because seriously, what was it, last Tuesday? I think it was last Tuesday, maybe, or was it Wednesday? Izzy jumped into my live chat in the morning and asked if I was covering it while I was doing my outro, and I didn't know who it was, and I'm like, Okay, what's so important?" Because she was, like, insistent. She was very insistent, and I'm like, "Okay, what what's so important that, you want me to stop my outro?" And she goes, "Well, that's my sister, the one that happened what happened in Oklahoma." I'm like, "Whoa, whoa, are you serious?" She's like, "Yeah." And I said, "Shoot me an email. I need to hear from you." And then I kinda just went over to the kinda stuff that I heard, and, she definitely has opened up a lot of stuff for me to look at. I have some text messages between her and Alicia's husband, so I'm getting a lot more information as well. Melissa, hello. Thank you for coming in, even though that we're almost to the end of it, but thank you. I see Krista Watson's in here. Hello. Now, are you in Louisiana? And someone said something about Turtle Man. And Melissa said her mom is in Louisiana. That's cool. I'm gonna be looking for some Rougarou stories. Now, what's Turtle Man? What is that? Honey Island Swamp Monster. Is that in Louisiana, Melissa? Ooh, okay. Hey, ladies, I'm gonna try to do Louisiana right. Lots of voodoo in the Louisiana. Hey, do you guys ever remember that guy, the Cajun cook? That old grandpa looking dude who wore like overalls and had like a mustache, a little thin mustache, and wore glasses. Like, boy, I guarantee. Oh, we're going to cook us up some onion rings. So is the turtle guy like an actual person, like Turtle Man? Is he like an actual person? The Cajun cooking man. I used to love watching him. And another one was Yan Can Cook. Justin Wilson. Is that him? The cops have questions for her because she's got because she got to say about gunshots. Someone was yelling before. Okay. Dude, I'm gonna just give you a call. My other uncle told me a creepy story about something he saw one night, very weird. Uh, don't know what to think about. Okay, after this, give me a call if you can. Turtle Man is the man. Okay, what is Crocodile Man or Turtle Man? And is he? Should I try to get him on the show? Bat Boy rules. I know I need to do. You guys, okay, that's it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Just on Wilson. All right, Bear, did you hear me? Friend me on Facebook if we're not already, but shoot me a message on Messenger. All right. Okay. Last time I'm going to ask is Turtle Man. Oh, so he did have a show at one time. He did. Turtle Man has seen Bigfoot. Okay. There's my questions. Thank you. You answered my questions. Thank you so much. Now I just got to figure out how to get a hold of him. Should I try to get him on the show? Aaron, we're near the end of the show, brother. Telling you, I rep the crap out of your show. Dave, there's a title. What do you mean there's a title? Okay. No, I've only never heard of Turtle Man before. So is there something I should know about him other than he's seen Bigfoot? Okay. Absolutely. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What? What? Junior, you got to send me an email with some stuff like that. The Turtle Man was Wade. Man, all right, you guys have really piqued my interest now. Turtle Man. If this doesn't fan out to be anything, you guys got me. Turtle Man. All right. I'll look him up. Oh man, you're lucky you meant Martin Groves. I'll look him up. I'll look him up. All right, you guys. That's the show for tonight. I just want to say thank you everyone so much for spending time with me. You guys, I think the highest we got up tonight was like 85, 86, maybe. Um Man, I would love to see a 300 person night. That'd be fantastic. But you know what? Hey, good things come to those who wait. You guys, I love every single one of you guys. Again, thank you so much. If you guys haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. If you're not a member and you want to get in on this giveaway, we've got 19 more days to become a member. Okay. You saw 90? Okay, I'll take that. Um, Definitely, if you guys are not members, all you got to do is hit that join, $2.99 a month. You guys will get in on the membership giveaway. You guys get the early access to Saturday release show. What'd you guys think about that how that Saturday release? What'd you guys think about that? Okay. Hey, Darren, thank you so much for becoming a member, man. I appreciate that, buddy. What did you guys get a chance to see the episode that I released today? He's had a few encounters, Larry. Awesome. All I heard all I heard music. Okay. Hey, Thomas, I'm gonna make your dreams come true, buddy. I'm gonna do an episode on Bat Boy. I am, because Bat Boy is one of my favorite things. Awesome. All right, guys. Again, thank you so much. If you guys have had an encounter, you'd like to come on the show, or know of somebody that's had an encounter, or you want to share an encounter but you don't want to come on the show, shoot me an email. Bro, I don't have any room to. I got 30 days, man. You ain't putting 30 nothing on me, bro. I am gonna get it framed and I'm gonna hang it on my wall. I promise you. But dude, I gotta get this crap out of my office. I have no room to do anything in here except for walk to my desk and walk to the door. That's it. Listen, dude, you see that Seahawks back there? That ain't coming down, buddy. That's my home team right there, partner. Two-time Super Bowl champions. All right. How many championships does Detroit have? Oh yeah, 0. How many does Seattle Seahawks have? 2. How many does the Vikings have? 0. I got to email you an update on my daughter, Dano. She talked to me today. Okay, definitely send me that. 49ers, Ninja. Shame on you. The only team that I do not like, the team I can't despise. Oh no, I rather root for the Dallas Cowboys, and I can't stand them either. I cannot stand the Rams. I can't stand them. Cannot stand them, period. Do that voice. What voice? Listen here, see, I can't stand the Los Angeles Rams, the St. Louis Rams, the whatever they were. I can't stand them, see? Yeah, I hate the Rams. You know what I hate more than the Rams? The Raiders, guys. I hate the Raiders. I hate the Raiders so much I can't stand them. There you go. All right, you guys. I appreciate everything you guys do. You guys, again, if you guys, those Cowboys, guys, let's see. Let's get them out of here, guys. I don't like them Cowboys one bit. Who cares about Michigan basketball? No one does, buddy. Only people in Michigan do. Just messing with you, bud. You guys have an encounter and you'd like to come on the show, please shoot me an email at thecryptidpodcast72@gmail.com. That's thecryptidpodcast72@gmail.com. Don't forget to check out Ally Coffee Roasters out of Cadillac, Michigan. AllyCoffee.com, OWLEYE coffee.com. 15% off your purchase for using the promo code DANO, all capital letters, DANO. And they are a proud sponsor of the April giveaway. First place, a 12-pack. Second place, a 6-pack. And third place, a 3-pack. Rustic Supply Co. They are also a sponsor of the April giveaway. Check them out on Etsy at the Rustic Supply Co. underneath the search engine. If you guys like a metal type of signage, wall art, they have different types of motifs. They have outdoors, they have westerns, they have cryptids, they have sports, and they have, looks like a tropical palm tree there. And the newest person or company that likes is a sponsor supporting the giveaway is Partly Cloudy Collective. You can check them out at partlycloudycollective.com or check them out on Facebook, facebook.com/Partly Cloudy Collective. You guys, that's the show for tonight. I just want to say thank you so much for everything you guys do for the channel. I appreciate every single one of you guys. If you have any questions, please feel free to shoot me an email. And before that, I just want to let you guys know that remember, a legend begins with a sighting. I'll see you guys later. Thanks for stopping by. And remember, next week, we're hitting Kansas. Stay safe, everybody. Watch out for those murder mittens. That's right. Josie, have a great night, guys. I love all you guys. Thank you so much. See you on the next show.
And just like that, the night begins to close in. The fire burns a little lower. The woods grow quiet again. But if you've learned anything tonight, it's that silence doesn't mean you're alone. Somewhere out there, beyond the tree line, down that forgotten road, deep in the places maps don't like to go, something is still moving, still watching, still waiting. I want to thank each and every one of you for spending your night with me here on the Cryptid Podcast. Whether you joined us live, shared your thoughts in the chat, or you're catching this later, you're part of this journey now. And remember, these stories don't belong to fear. They belong to the witnesses, to the hunters who stopped hunting, to the hikers who never went back, to the people who looked into the dark and realized the dark looked back. If you've had an encounter with Bigfoot, Dogman, or something you can't explain, your story matters. And one day, it may be told right here on the Cryptid Podcast. Until next time, keep your eyes on the tree line, trust your instincts, and never ignore that feeling that tells you you're not alone. I'm Dano, and this is the Cryptid Podcast. Good night, everyone.